in losses, damages. They asked me to turn over a list of the celebrities that I was investigating for my series, The Woodshed Project, which they were only using to give to Cuba Gooding Jr. so he could take it back to Diddy so they could scare the people that we're coming for. Why does nobody want to talk about that? The company View It, which Cuba Gooding Jr., Diddy Doo-Wop Bop captain, sat on the board for, and we did not know. Never paid me or Odell a dime. Odell was just coming to produce for me. They actually offered him a job working for the company, so he was ready to walk away from the jobs that he had so that we could build this network at View It. And guess what? They got us both there, and then they never paid us for anything. They gave us $5,000 for living expenses to help us get set up, and we never received another dime from that company. Not only that, the housing that they provided, they turned over the address to trolls so they could call the police, take pictures of our vehicle. View It did that. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s company. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop calling the company View It altogether. How about that, Mars? Since you don't want to return anybody's phone calls, since you think you're just going to duck your head down and blame it all on Joe and Milton Bledsoe, no. I'm going to drop it off where it belongs. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s company View It screwed me over, owes me $500,000. And apparently we're willing to spy on us and give our location. See, nobody bothered to ask why we left Vegas. And I'm going to tell you right now. We left Vegas because we got word that they were sending people to come and extract me 24 hours before Diddy went to jail. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s friend Diddy, they were going to try to grab me and Odell. We packed up, we cleaned up, and we moved out before anybody could get there. View It as Cuba Gooding Jr.'s company. God knows what they had planned. But I'm sick and tired of making phone calls to people over there at Cuba Gooding Jr.'s company, and we get no response. I'm tired of the fact that they just stopped paying the rent so that they could create an eviction story to make it seem like me and Odell were bad tenants and bad clients. I'm tired of people being paid by the diddler and the jigger man to try to find ways to put fake stories on me to discredit me. Meanwhile, lying to me, engaging me in what is supposed to be real business, and doing nothing but tortious interference all the while. Just in case you don't know what tortious interference is, it is an active plot to make it hard for someone to be able to earn money doing their job. That's practically the whole industry. Tortious interference is everywhere, all over the energy, all over the industry. People lie about this person, lie about this person, pay content creators to lie about this person and lie about this person so no one will want to work with them, so no one will want to hire them. Or have, every time you go to work with someone, a bunch of people harass and stalk the people that you're working with so they won't want to work with you. Why does nobody want to talk about that? Because the Jigger Man been doing that to me in my music career for decades. You think this is the first company he bought and paid off to screw me over, to make me look like I'm a bad businesswoman. If they're willing to do it to little old me, why y'all think they ain't doing it today? That's what money can do. Money can move anybody around. And when you have ties to politics and people with high-level security clearances, that's just utter domination. Why does nobody want to believe that it was Barry Obama and his handsome wife, Michael, who put together that nasty little business that happened with me at Midway Airport late January 2023? Because it was. And I'm not saying allegedly, Barry. Y'all paid to have me trapped in Chicago so you could have another chance to kill me, because that's what you had tried earlier. Was that 73rd, south side of Chicago, at the Harold's Chicken, me and my nephew. Y'all literally paid someone that worked in there, that stupid, goofy old black woman who kept holding our order and serving everyone else. If it wasn't for me pulling out my gun and telling that bitch I'd shoot her if she didn't give me my food, I probably would not be here right now, or it would have been a very, very, very nasty scene. Because as soon as she finally gave us our food and we left, we had watchers there on the roof. They was watching the whole block. 2 all-black SUVs pulled up. 2 different teams of men jumped out of each SUV, ran into that same Harold's Chicken on the south side of Chicago, started flipping over tables, hollering, yelling, with guns drawn, and then ran out and sped off. That happened. I am not lying. That happened. And then after my nephew booked me a plane ticket, another plane ticket at another airport on another, because see, I tried to fly out of O'Hare that morning. That was the ticket that I had purchased. By the way, FAA, I never got a refund on any of those tickets that I bought to get out. And you can stop sending the paperwork to my brother's house in Fort Worth. I have not been there in almost a decade. Y'all have all of my other addresses. Why do y'all keep sending stuff there to try to scare him? This is how they work. Everybody knows Barry and the Jigga Man are very close. This is the kind of stuff that they do. It is real. So Mars, whenever you and Joe are ready, just call Odell. He'll tell you where to wire the $500,000 you owe us. Otherwise, we're going to be forced to sue Cuba Gooding Jr.'s company. And considering how much money I believe is being laundered out of there, that would probably be a bad idea. See? See how that works? So Mars and Joe, you know how to get in touch with us. And please, don't send Benny. Benny's trying to recuperate. Y'all call Odell and let us know when you're wiring us the $500,000 that Cuba Gooding Jr.'s company owes me and my fiance. Not only that, all of the lies, all of the promising of this and promising of that. We turned in all of our deliverables and you guys still fronted on us. You didn't give us a dime. Nothing. How have we been surviving? We worked for that company, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s company, View It. We worked for that company for 4 months during one of my highest times when we were just getting the viral tsunami going before Diddy got arrested. They slowed us down, asked us not to go live. What victims are we? Oh, please somebody get rid of Brandy. Brandy's in the chat. There's a troll in this house. There's a troll in this house. If you see one, point it out. My ignorant opinion, you're a troll, ma'am. You gotta go. We threw your boyfriend out in his wheelchair. Now you go and get him out of the traffic before he gets hit. Bye, Brandy. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of you myself. Bye, Brandy. See, these are the trolls that are having a hard time letting go. They don't realize that we've moved on. They're no longer relevant. They just keep, there's some trolls in this house. There's some trolls in this house. If you see one, point it out. Bye, Brandy. That is your name. One of them. Man. Y'all people are pathetic. Now, like I was saying, this is how this works. What's been happening to me in my business is the same thing that's been happening to Dame Dash and his. A lot of powerful people working together to keep you from being able to earn a dime, to make you look like you're a deadbeat, to make you look like you're a bum so nobody will believe anything that you say because, right, you're jealous because you're not successful, right? Tortious interference. Somebody should tell Alex Spiro maybe he should stop committing it. Anybody who wants to become a moderator that isn't already one, you have to contact our head mod, Ayasha Lachey Bay. And after you've interviewed with her and she figures out whether or not you're a good fit, we do like we always do. The whole team takes a vote, and if you get voted in, then that's that. And that's how it's going to be from here on out, because we can't have any more spies in our camp. We have real victims that we're working for, real victims that we're vying for. We can't afford for any of that information to get leaked out to the wrong hands. Enough of that has happened already. But thank you for inquiring. Now you know where to go. Is Diddy doing damage control? Kadisha, you are absolutely right. He is. Why is nobody bothered by the fact that Adria English is now she's using this new moniker to represent and market herself? She's going by She Diddy. Has no one paid attention to that? After everything she's told us and after everything she's shared with us, is anyone acknowledging or asking why her Cash App tag is now She Diddy? It almost feels like a way to pay homage, I don't know why anyone doesn't believe, after all of the scare tactics and the manipulation and the pressure that Diddy and his enterprise have been putting on real, actual witnesses. I do not understand why it's so hard for people to believe that they wouldn't invent a few of their own. That woman is one of the biggest victims the world has ever seen. She has been, especially considering where she started with that scumbag that got her into porn. I don't think anybody could properly understand what Adria English has been through. And like she said, when she came to do the Diddy parties, the white parties, and perform there, she felt as though she was already burnt out. She felt as though she was already fucked up in the game. So why not do this? She kept repeating that phrase, and I think it's something that Ariel Kidd taught her. Something of the heart, coercion of the heart. She kept saying that over and over again, using that legal terminology. And when she kept saying that, coercion of the heart, I was down. I mean, it was P. Diddy, right? Why would it be hard to believe that maybe she feels the same way now? It's still P. Diddy. She's watched him get away with things for decades now. Who's to say she doesn't believe he's going to make it through this? Or maybe she needs him to. See, when you break a human spirit, all those drugs, all that abuse, and the sores on her body, all over her arms, all over her legs, they look very reminiscent of a disease that I'm very familiar with. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There are other women who I know have died from the big house in Virginia turned viral on them, you know, that have been associated with that camp. We keep forgetting there are a lot of people in the industry who got the big house in Virginia. They do. You just don't know it because a lot of them are getting enough money and have the right doctors to be able to take the medication to stay undetectable. You'd be surprised how many entertainers are living at undetectable status right now. And understand this, undetectable only means it's not transmissible while the medicines are doing their thing. But the second that that leaves your system, it all comes tumbling down. Y'all seen that girl that Nick Cannon slept with? The one who's just... There's a lot of people that think because they undetectable, they ain't got it. But see, second you go off that medication, if, shout out to all 2,000 people in the room, 562 likes, I'd love to see another 500 more. That would be great. But let's just be real. We ain't talking about the big house in Virginia enough. Because a lot of these kids got it. And a lot of these kids will do anything to keep getting that medication so that they can stay undetectable. We all know a lot of these parties, they like having unprotected sex and all of that IV drip and intravenous stuff they got going on. I'm serious, G. How do we know that some of these people aren't working out of extreme desperation? Because I can tell you right now, Adria English and Lamisha Fuller, they are living at the bottom. They are living in desperation. And they're being taken advantage of. They have been convinced to come forward and do what they've done. And see, I know it's a plot now because they had her sit with that witch, Qtita Dean. And now she's exposed them. But see, I knew it was about to get ugly when I heard her say that I was behind it. That's what they're saying. They're saying that I found these women and I conjured this up and I brought them forward. I'm behind it. How ridiculous. I don't have a personal relationship with either of these women. And then to make matters worse, they doubled down and went and got police footage of me calling the police when someone was threatening to assault me right after I got out of jail June 1st, 2023, at that sober living house that Tasha K's people had me put in so that they could gaslight me to force me to break my bond. So I would have to turn around and go right back to jail so that they could unalive me and poison me again. And that's not allegedly. The robot, Danny Robertson, she has her name all over the police footage. And they said that me and the girl Shay that they threw out because she let me call 911 to defend myself. They're now trying to say that she is Lamisha Fuller. They are now trying to say that Shay and Lamisha Fuller are the same person. And when I look at the people that are pushing all of this agenda, all of them are connected to Tasha K. Every last one of them. She's been doing this shit for years. Her and her team of flying monkeys invented the Legina Gold story. They also invented the CPS girl story, who wasn't, for real, a CPS girl. She never. I'm sorry, hold on, what is this? Free thinker? Oh no, I know exactly who you are. You out of here. Tell Danny I said bye-bye. There's some trolls in this house. There's some trolls in this house. You know what? Hold on a second. Maybe I need to put on. Hold on. Community moderation. I think we do need to go on slow-mo. And you know what? I think we need to make it subscriber mode only. Because the truth is, most of these trolls aren't subscribed. So we're going to put it on subscriber mode only. Message delay, slow-mo, 60 seconds. Yeah, we'll do that. 60 seconds. There we go. Okay? All right, we got it going. We got it going. We got it going. Fabulous. There we are. I should get rid of some buggers. Now you got to subscribe if you want to troll. And I slowed it down. I put it on a 60-second delay for the mods because I know it's been going fast and we've been missing things. But yeah, no. I know these girls are being coached. And the second that they tried to put my name to it, they've already tried to spin a story on Jean. They already tried to spin a story on me. Now Lamisha Fuller is actually Shay. No, they don't even look alike. And more importantly than that, I haven't talked to Shay. Hey, Essie. You know what, Essie? I gotta do this. I gotta give you a wrench, Essie. Because I already know the second you come through here, they're going to start acting a fool. And I am not going to leave you without a tool. Okay, you got that wrench now, Essie? Bust them upside their head. Shout out to the, yes, to the 2.2K in the chat, and shout out to the 800 likes. Thank you. If we could get to 1,000 likes, that's awesome, because then that's really going to push this message through. And I am going to acknowledge the super chats before we go. I'm trying my best to do it. You got it. They're getting past me so fast. But as far as Adria and Lamisha are concerned, these women are victims, and I believe they're being re-victimized again. I believe that Lamisha has been heavily coached, which is why she was desperate enough to sit down with that witch, Cutita. And I'm going to say your name like that every time because I know it drives you crazy. Cutita, Cutita, Cutita. Say her name and like Candyman. She might just appear. I'm telling you. Psst, she speak to dead people, man. This woman sat there and said she was a witch. Said that she'd been having conversations with my deceased son and told everybody that she put a spell on me with a cow's tongue and mustard seeds and all that. These are the kind of people on YouTube, but these are the kind of people that they sent to Adria and Misha. What God-fearing people would encourage those women after everything they've been through to go sit with that witch who taped them without them knowing and then outed them as frauds and then blamed it all on me. Oh, the Jigga Man, he's hiding. He's hiding. And shout out to my girl, Essie Berry, widow and advocate for the late Fred Berry. One of the dancingest, funniest, sweetest guys. What's happening? What is happening? Everybody knows something's off. Everyone knows something's wrong. I have knowledge and information on who is behind these girls. Kadisha, shoot me an email. There's some things I think you need to know. My producer feels as though it's best that I don't get into this fight. But I do have very, very, very specific knowledge and information. And I think it should go to the most worthy content creator who's really fighting the clean, unbiased, good fight. So, Kadisha, if you want to know who's running it, I'll tell you. I sent you an email. You got my email address. If you didn't, it's just jaguarwright@gmail.com. But I'll share it with you. I know you're going to do the right thing with it. It's unbelievable. But what I will say is I'll give y'all this one for free. Choke, no joke. I can't wait to take this one and hang it on your neck. I want you to wear this scam. I want you to wear it like a Flavor Flav prop. I'm gonna take the re-victimization of these girls and I'm gonna make sure it sits on your neck, Choke. You joke, I'm gonna make sure you choke on this scam. Y'all don't care nothing about these women. And your shout outs, Chokey Choke, Mr. Chokey Chicken. They're all right. You are the chattiest patty in the world, and you are a bitch, sir. That I'll tell you. But understand this. I'm going to hang this on your neck, Choke. And we're going to watch you all choke on it. Re-victimizing victims to try to get a viral moment on your very struggling, dying channel, sir, because don't nobody want to see any of that shit that you got from the tunnel, because don't nobody get no fuck. Why is it so hard for you? You failed. You didn't quit, you failed. They made it very clear. You were work for hire, and not only were you work for hire, you're a thief. You were paid to come to events and be the troll fanboy that you are. You were paid to get the footage and turn the footage over to Rockefeller. You did not do that. You made copies. You took that man's money and you made copies so you could bootleg him. That's what you done. He done told the truth about you. And as for Piers Morgan goes, you know, I got a feeling y'all might feel sorry for some of the choices you've made in your content this year. Because after I finished destroying Choke No Joke for being the secret diddy doo-wop bop that he is, people are going to have some very, very, very serious questions about why you allow any of his commentary, which we will prove is all lies and cap and conjecture. You keep that up. You keep that joke up. And you censor me because Alex Spiro called you and lied to you and threatened you. You allowed them to try to make a liar out of me, and I'm not lying. You apologizing to them essentially said, hey, Jaguar can't be credible, because the one thing you didn't ask for was proof of what I was lying about. Alex Spiro makes a phone call and all of a sudden, you're apologizing. For what? They never proved I was lying. But you do got liars like Choke No Joke sitting on your panel, making a mockery of your channel. Because everybody who's given that little piece of crap a place to go and lie and line people up is going to look very less than credible, sir. But that's all right. I got you, Choke. Like I said, your shout outs are very telling. Your whole agenda is to try to discredit me and Gene Deal in any way you possibly can. Please, somebody do me a favor and get rid of the ratchet person. Let's get rid of the ratchet. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that fool myself. Yeah, no. I wish I could give it back. But I'm going to keep it because you spent so much money lying about me, little boy. Lying. You see how the trolls are? Thank you for subscribing, because it is on subscriber mode only. Pierce, you might want to start looking through your panelists, because not only have you had Vlad up there who's a lying sack of shit and everybody knows it and ain't nothing but a setup king and allegedly an information gatherer for Mossad. Now you got Choke. And I'm telling y'all, Choke is all over the orchestration of these YouTube victims. Choke is all over it. All over it. You gonna wish you never mentioned my name. And if you keep talking about Gene and everybody else around him, I got a feeling there's going to be some people coming to see you anyway. You talk too much. Who's Choke? Some joke. some joke, who apparently thinks it's okay to re-victimize victims so his channel can grow. I'm sure there are people that are broadcasting me right now. They love to do that. Kadisha, I'll be looking for your email. I'm going to lay it all out for you. But I want everybody to know whatever information that I got, I have verified it. With more than 10 content creators. You people have been busy. And you've been collecting money. Do you know what that means? This is public corruption. That's a crime. This is public corruption. And all those cash apps and all those super chats, every instance of one of those is technically wire fraud. Every time you knew those women were lying and you passed out their cash app and asked people to pay for those lies, that was public corruption and fraud. Y'all were defrauding the public. I mean, it's been over $25,000 collected on behalf of those girls so far. I wonder who their manager is, because it sounds like their manager is getting a nice bonus. Imagine that, managing these victims and you getting a money piece of the cash app, you're taking your management fee, and you making content, and it's monetized. That's like a three-way, that's a 360 deal. Just like the record labels. What's going on, Florida? This is theft. What I will say is, to the people who are managing Adria English, aka She Diddy, and Lamisha Fuller, I will not allow y'all to take this and hang this on these women and vilify them and walk away and say, hey, I'm just a content creator. Oh, no. I'm going to make sure every last one of you are held accountable for every dollar you have stolen from the public in these women's name and on their shame. Y'all people are pathetic. So desperate for content. So desperate to go viral. YouTube, they keep up in the cut, you know? 10 years ago, you could make real good money on YouTube. And for the YouTube content creators who were back then, see, they made their bulk money. And they already locked in. They AdSense is going AdSense regardless. But for y'all up and coming, that 45 to 60%, they taking out of everything you got. It's probably looking a little different with the value of the dollar going down as fast as it's been. They are re-victimizing these women, and they are profiting off of it nicely. But I'm going to tell you something right now. When victims start having conversations where they're asking for percentages of YouTube content creator videos, how would a victim know to ask? They're not content creators. What would they know about the value of the analytics and how the AdSense dollars add up? How would they know that? They're victims. They're sitting with you on your channel. They're talking to you. They don't know how this works. How do they? Unless they were coached to know. was adding, especially on a couple of channels that got started on this story early, and then putting up that Cash App, say. Putting up that Cash App. My. Wire fraud. Y'all are defrauding the public. You're giving these stories. You're convoluting real details. You're assuming characters of people you're not. You're attaching people's names that have nothing to do with anything at all. And you getting some money. You getting that shmoney, Oh no, he made it very clear. If anybody used any of that content, he was going to strike them for it because he's going to collect every dollar off of every video. Let me tell you something right now. I'm going to ask everybody to not attack these women. They are being used in the sickest way. Desperate people do desperate things. Please know and believe that. Do not judge people by that. I'm not interested in talking about what happened, what did happen. I just want to make sure that we focus on the agenda that me and Natanya Rubin started last night for these young women. Keep them in prayer, keep them encouraged, and keep them in God's love. That's all we can do. Clearly, these people are desperate. They ran to a witch who played the shit out of them and then labeled them as liars, prostitutes, drug addicts, and whores, and then tried to say they were working for me. And then she want to run around talking about, yeah, Jag came to me and asked me. The witch's name's QT the Dean. She goes by the Governors. Her channel is a walk with the ancestors. I suggest you stay far away from it because she's a whole witch. She just admitted so just yesterday, sitting with the A2 titties boy who sat there and let that bitch lie on me, talking about she gave me information and she did this for me, and then I would go off and do lives and pretend like I got the information. I never needed information from you. You needed information from me. And let's just be clear, Q-Tita. You ain't the governess or nothing but dick sucking. Real rap. You used to have to do that. It's funny you became a lesbian just so you could feel empowered after all of the shame you went through. You remember the things you told me about your childhood, all the times you were sodomized, all the times you were essayed by force, and that's why you became a lesbian to begin with. Unfortunately, you got a taste for teenage girls. And I'm not saying allegedly, Q-Tita. You also have a taste for menstrual blood. And I'm not saying allegedly, Q-Tita. You're a piece of shit. And every mole on your face is evidence that you are just as ugly as the entity that you serve, which is the devil. Who would send those girls to that kind of person if they wanted them to get help? This is the same witch that set up Mo 3. She helped set up Mo 3. She lied about everything. And that's who y'all sent her to. Y'all sent those women that you said you wanted to help. The only thing I'm interested right now, I think these women need to be focused on wellness before witnessing. Don't you? These women are not well. And they are in the hands of very, very, very duplicitous YouTube content creators. More like scavengers. You got to ask yourself, what kind of person would put themselves in this position to be this heavily scrutinized and have to deal with the online attacks that they're going to deal with for years after this? People are going to be going in on them for years after this. These women are already desperate. Do we want to see them unalive themselves? If they're relying on the grace of duplicitous content creators to help them survive somewhere in a shit hotel in Texas, this is disgusting. So let's put the responsibility and the accountability where it really belongs. Rather than people coming to me asking me to defend lies that were told about me, which I'm not going to dignify with a comment at all. Not at all. How about you go back and ask all of those questions that you want to know from the content creators that brought them to you? Why is it that these content creators get to come out and start all of this hell, throw all of these people out here, and they act like they never had nothing to do with it? Meanwhile, their video was the first one out, the first one to go viral. I mean, I can get it. Being homeless in a car, making your way all the way out of that car, and then watching your channel go down and watching that money go down. I bet you do anything not to go back to that car. I line them. Desperate people do desperate things. Has anybody checked Lionel B's credit report? Why don't somebody run a credit check on Lionel B and see if he needs the money? Anything in foreclosure? Anything about to be repoed? A strip club habit that might be a little bit too out of control? With substances involved? Is anybody bothering to check if this pussy needed the money? Why don't we go back and look at all the other content creators that might have needed the money? To sit there and do all of this explosive content with these women and not have a mental health care provider involved from the very beginning to make sure that their emotional well-being would be okay through all of this scrutiny and all of this hell in the new OJ case? Because let's just be honest, Diddy is the new OJ. Everyone's going to make a shitload of money. Which is why I invited Dr. Megan McGlover to come, and I will be inviting another therapist of mine, Dr. Sunshine, who broadcasts on KBLA out there in Leimert Park in LA. I'm inviting them to come and get into this and help us structure these conversations where we're taking care of the wellness first. Wellness before witnessing. Wellness before witnessing. Had any of these women sat down with a mental health care provider and had any counseling at all for anything in any way before they did anybody prepare them to be ready to be able to deal with the emotional fallout of everything that they're saying? Wellness before witnessing. Let's make sure that they can be the witnesses, the healthy witnesses that they can be. Let's make sure that their mind, body, and soul is intact to deal with all of the energy that this is going to drain from them. This is a draining, grueling process. And Cash App and cheap hotel room and wish list ain't going to get you through it. These girls need counselors. And I pray that they were listening last night. I pray that they were listening to Dr. Megan. I need to get them copies of her book. They need to read it. And there were some women that came through to the live last night that said that they were counselors and they were registered counselors and they would like to volunteer their services. I'm asking everybody to get over to thejaguarwright.com. If you are a mental health care provider and you would like to help, these women get some kind of counseling, get some kind of something that they need, please let us know. Because cruelty-free artistry, let us not forget. Adria wanted to be an artist. Coercion of the heart. Remember, she kept talking about it. She still wants to be an artist. She still has a passion. You hear her shouting out everybody she wants to work with. There's still a passion there. These women need therapy. They need counseling and they need constant support. The things that they're saying, whether they're true or not, or whether they're just, messed up little... Oh, Misha's a songwriter too? See, I didn't know. Let's get these women help. Let's do what all of these other content creators who are busy worried about making money off of them, let's get them help. Because if those stories that they told y'all made some of y'all lose sleep, whether it's true or not, they're ingesting all of that. For one Cash App at a time, are you kidding me? Dude! Whether they're telling the truth or not, it does not matter. The emotional toll that's coming along with all of this is way too much. They need to get well. Period. I'm not interested in talking about any of their stories. I'm not interested in talking about any of their details. I'm not interested in talking about any of that. I'm interested in talking about who's collecting percentages of all of those Cash Apps. I want to talk about who's been earning off of these girls' pain. Healing, wellness, strength, first before witnessing. I tell you what, all it takes is 2 people to make a federal conspiracy. Just 2. That's the rules now. 5 to make a RICO. There are 5 content creators right now that I know have been all working together to take advantage of these girls. Sounds like a criminal organization to me. People have strategically lined these girls up to ping pong and go from one platform to another, charging money all the way and asking for percentages of overall gross watch hours on that AdSense check. It's interesting. Interesting. If y'all encourage those women to lie for profit, that's y'all crime. These women are sick. I'm sure they both got mental health diagnoses that will keep them from being prosecuted for what they were encouraged to do by bad actors. But those bad actors, public corruption. Every Cash App